It's just a sin, to be honest. It's like a dictatorship, you know? It doesn't feel like you live in a democracy.
I'm not the only one that is absolutely furious about this.
Islington Council is rationing hot water and heating to its residents to try and reduce their bills. And it means people that work shifts, like Obi, can't have a hot shower before or after work.
I work for the London Underground. I'm a track operative, so basically I'm a track engineer. So I go in, I fix tracks, railways, sleepers, everything to do with the underground, you know what I'm saying? I start work at 11:30 at night, and most times I don't finish work till about maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, you know? And when I come back from work, the first thing I need is to be clean, you know? And the last thing I need is to be jumping in a cold shower. We have loads of vulnerable adults that live around this area. You have people that work late at night, me being one of them, you know? It's just unacceptable from the water to be turned off, you know, from a certain time because they think they're doing us better, you know? We pay our bills, you know, so it should be up to us how much water we spend when we spend it. My mum's, she's very ill at the moment, you know what I mean? She has been for many years now. Like you could put her on the category as a vulnerable adult, you know? My mum, for this cap on the water all the time, and it's unacceptable. My mum needs it. My mum might need a bath at 2 o'clock in the morning. My mum might need a bath at 4 o'clock in the morning. My mum might need a bath at 12 o'clock at night. You know, there's no program as to when we as a family or she needs a bath. And obviously putting this cap on the water is just unacceptable. I don't find that acceptable at all, do you know what I'm saying? We don't live in a third world country, do you know? We live in modern Western society, you know, and we pay our bills, so nobody can actually tell us. I don't feel that nobody should be able to tell us when or when we can do what we do, especially if you're paying your own bills, do you know? Like, I understand that maybe the council are trying to, they think they're doing better for us, but no, they're really doing it better for themselves. The times that the council are saying that they want to shut the waters off is the times that I need the water. And more importantly, more in my mum's case, like, my mum's ill, do you know what I'm saying? Like, my mum can have an accident and go into the toilet, and we have to wash her, you know what I'm saying? Me and my father are her carer, her primary carers. So it's like, my mum, there is no set time of when my mum's gonna need a shower. It's not like some people can have baths and showers at 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night. Okay, that's understandable, but there's people out here that don't go by them type of rules. It's just a sin, to be honest. We pay our bills, we make sure the bills are always paid. You know, we're never behind on our bills, so I don't believe that somebody should tell us what we can or cannot use. Like, if you don't have a shower, if you don't have a bath, you don't feel good. Do you know, it does something to your mental health. They just need to think about their vulnerable people, they need to think about the adults that live around here, they need to think about their children as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Children deserve to have a bath every morning before they go to school to feel fresh, do you know? Telling them when they can and cannot have, it's like a dictatorship. You know, it doesn't feel like you live in a democracy anymore. If somebody's telling you when you can have a bath and when you can't have a bath, or when your hot water is going to be turned on, when it's not going to be turned on, if your heating's messed up, like, it makes no sense, especially now we're coming into winter.
Islington leaseholders and tenants say they weren't consulted about the changes and accuse the council of controlling their lives.
I'm George, I'm a local resident on the Red Brick estate, and I'm on the management committee now of the Red Brick Tenant Management Organisation. Well, several weeks ago, I ran a bath at quarter to midnight and got in it, with all the bubbles and stuff, and it was freezing cold. And it was only then that I discovered that across Islington, the council has made a decision, had no information about it, to turn off the hot water and the heating at midnight every night until 6 a.m. in the morning. And there are also plans for further restrictions for all residents, that's tenants and leaseholders who have communal boilers throughout the borough. So further restrictions to be turned off at some point in the day, possibly between 11 and 3, subject to consultation. Say subject to consultation because this is what they're now saying, but we were not consulted at all on the Red Brick when we suddenly found we had no heating and hot water. And I'd like to say that I'm not the only one that is absolutely furious about this, because of the breach of civil liberties that we experience and the fact that we have no personal choice. And then if you look at their website, they're using propaganda to say that everyone in the borough that they've consulted, and I don't know who these people are because we certainly haven't been consulted here, and there are many residents groups in uproar across the borough. They say that, you know, this is best for us as a result of the conclusions that they've reached. So a lot of us feel extremely angry because it doesn't need to be like that. As a leaseholder here, my latest estimated service charge for next year, it's going up from heating from £200 to £1,400, which I calculate is a 700% increase. You're going to find very few residents who are happy with the council deciding on your behalf when you can use hot water at any time of the day or night. Every individual in this country who, you know, cherishes their health and cares about other people should realise it's a problem for everyone.
The changes have significant consequences for the vulnerable or those with young children.
My name's Steve Woods, I'm the estate manager here at Harry Weston Co-op. We've got some very sick and some very elderly residents here, and obviously if they're going to be without heating or hot water throughout the day and throughout the night, it's going to affect some of their health conditions, and that can range from simple things like arthritis, COPD. And we've got one resident here at end-of-life care at home. One's receiving weekly chemotherapy. One's got multiple sclerosis, housebound. It ranges from toddlers to old age pensioners. I mean, some of our retirees have been retired for 20 years. You know, the only way they can keep warm, they're not going to look for a Joe Wicks video to keep warm, do you know what I mean? So they're sedentary. We've got a lot of people working from home full time now, you know, back office, etc., stuff like that. We've got young families, elderly people, you know, it's just, it's right across the board. But in Belgium, there's a social tariff. It doesn't seem like that's been looked at in this country. So that would help people.
Can you explain what that is?
Well, it's this. I think it's a means-tested lower rate for heating and gas. So I don't know if that's been explored by anywhere in this country. So yeah, we get it, but you know, there's been people paid a lot of money to come up with these solutions. It's just a bit slow getting off the mark. And in the meantime, we're caught in the crossfire.
Do you think the people that are making those decisions are a little bit disconnected from the reality?
Well, I know for a fact that some of them are, because they don't live on social housing. You know, social housing, the most cost-effective way of heating that is communal heating. And yet when they switch that off, the only option is to use electrically operated heaters, radiators. The council have offered to lend people heaters if they need it. So they're sort of taking it away with one hand and giving it to you with the other. So people are not happy.
An Islington councillor said, "To avoid bills increasing to unsustainable levels, we're reducing heating hours so less gas is used and to bring them more in line with how people with individual boilers heat their homes. Because of soaring global gas prices, the average weekly cost for communal heating will have to rise, but by a much smaller amount than if we had taken no action. We can offer help and support to people with communal heating who are particularly vulnerable and have been contacting vulnerable residents to see if they need help."